and people stayed home and read books and listened and rested and exercised and made art and played and learned new ways of being and stopped and listened deeper. Someone meditated, someone prayed, someone danced, someone met their shadow. And people began to think differently, and people healed. And in the absence of people who lived in ignorant ways, dangerous, meaningless, and heartless, even the earth began to heal. And when the danger ended, and people found each other, grieved for the dead people, and they made new choices, and dreamed of new visions, and created new ways of life, and healed the earth completely, just as they were healed themselves. By Kitty O'Meara. Hi, welcome back to Life is a Treasure podcast. I'm your hostess, Michelle Durand, and this is episode number 23, Coping During COVID-19. As we continue with the series, Treasure Yourself, the topic of this episode is self-help. Self-help does not mean only helping yourself alone. Self-help also includes seeking help from others, whether it be one-on-one session or in a group virtually, since we can't meet in person right now. And I'd like to just share a little bit of my experience with therapy and hopefully show you how and why it's so important. And I truly believe that everyone should be in therapy. Even if nothing horrible is going on in your life, just life itself in general. We have ups and downs, we have experiences, we have challenges, and therapy allows you to speak to someone who is not emotionally involved in your life, such as like your family and your friends. They're so emotionally involved that sometimes it's hard for them to just give an outside opinion or advice. And therapy is not for advice. Therapy is to help you to experience your feelings, to go deep and see why you may act or not act in certain ways, or maybe doing things that are unhealthy. And it gives you some tools and techniques. It helps you to see yourself and to just be yourself and explore those areas that maybe need some healing, need some work, and things that you want to cope with. It allows you to have some tools and techniques at your disposal to use when you need to. And so I've always had therapy in my life for different reasons. When I was going through a divorce, I had a therapist helping me through my divorce situation. And if the word therapy, it could mean anyone, like counselor, pastor. I've had all in my life. And but what I want to share is something recent. So I live in the country and in Austin, Texas area. And so I had an experience last year that I had never experienced before. I have anxiety. I've always had anxiety as far as I can remember in my life. And so I do know what that is. But I was in my office one day and I was working, and all of a sudden I literally could not breathe physically. And it definitely caused me to have a panic, and the panic got worse and I couldn't breathe at all. And so I found myself at the emergency room, and they ran tests on my heart, on my lungs, everything, and came to the conclusion that I was having a panic anxiety attack. So they gave me medication. I came home, and within a few days, the same exact thing happened, and I didn't know what else to do. It was a weekend, so I didn't have a regular doctor at that point. Went back to the emergency room, and they definitely recommended that I find a regular doctor to see and figure out what was going on. So I did, and we did the blood work and further testing, and again, confirmed that it was anxiety. So she recommended that I go to talk to a therapist. Well, I couldn't drive at this point, and I was on medicine that made me drowsy, and it was recommended that I did not drive. So I needed someone though. And so I remembered that now they have online therapy. That was like the biggest blessing for me, because in the past that wasn't an option. And I would have been stuck. And it's already hard enough. You feel isolated, you feel alone. And I knew I needed help. I knew I needed to talk to someone that was specialized with anxiety to help me deal with this and to learn what to do. So I was able to get in contact with someone, and she specialized in anxiety, and I met with her. She was tremendous in helping me and my doctor sort out what was happening, help me get on the best medications, and gave me some tools and techniques and things to do. And I was able to overcome that with her help. But then I found my doctor wanted me to meet someone in person. So I did. I found someone and I love her. But now we're back to online because we can't meet in person. So our relationship has now gone to the video chat, which is fine. And, I continue to see her that way until we can meet in person again. All of that being said, therapy works. And, I have therapy sessions with clients who have had abortions and they feel stuck and they don't know what to do next and how to overcome their feelings and how to express them, and just all the concerns that come when someone's struggling with their past abortions. So I'm there for them, but I always need someone there for me as well. And so I just wanted to share because I know that right now is very difficult. On top of just regular daily life stuff, we also are challenged with this pandemic, and a lot of anxiety, fears, so many feelings are coming up for people, and rightfully so. And so many people are grieving in so many ways. And that is a wonderful thing about therapy, is that you're able to grieve in a safe space. And so you want to make sure that you meet with that person first, feel comfortable with whoever you get to choose the therapist. You are paying and you get to choose. And on that note, a lot of them do offer free session to start, to get to see how you feel with the therapist. And if you're a good fit, I definitely recommend that. But also a lot of them offer sliding scale. So they'll give you discounts. And especially during this time, they're really reaching out and trying to help people the best way that they can. And so don't let financial keep you away, because they will work with you. And I'd like to give you 3 of the 3 online that I have heard of. And personally, I used betterhelp.com. And I will have the links to all 3 of these in the show notes. But betterhelp.com is amazing. I definitely recommend them. I use them and I would use them again in a heartbeat. And the next one I'd like to recommend that I've seen people use and talk really, really highly of is talkspace.com. And then the third would be mdlive.com. And I will have the links in the show notes for you to check those out. Reach out to them if you are seeking support for anything. And they have therapists that are specialized in different areas. And if you have teenagers, they have therapy for teenagers. There is so many options now, thankfully, to the internet. So with that being said, yes, we are in the middle of a worldwide pandemic right now due to the coronavirus outbreaks, and we are all being advised to stay home and limit contact with others. And this is affecting all of us in some way or another. There is so much anxiety, sadness, fear, loneliness, depression. So in this episode, I'd like to speak about some of these feelings and some ideas to help us in this journey, because we are all in this together, even though we have to go through it apart. But we, as humans, we long for connection. We desire affection. And we so desperately need inspiration. So I have compiled a list with some ideas in alphabetical order from A to the letter M. And I'll start with the letter A. Accept your feelings. Don't suppress what you're feeling. If you do, that can easily turn into depression. Don't judge your feelings. Just allow them to come up. And allow yourself to feel all of your feelings. Don't be afraid. Just accept them. They're part of who you are. And the sooner you accept them, then the sooner you can process those feelings. And again, this is where therapy comes in hand. Then we go to the letter B, believe in the best outcome. Even though we may not know what the future holds, we can still have faith that this will get better. C, cry when you need to. I believe that tears are so healing. They are natural, and there is nothing wrong with crying. D, don't focus on things out of your control. Rather, focus on what you can control and what will make you feel better. And a lot of times that's helping other people, reaching out to other people. That will make you feel like a better person. E, express your emotions in healthy ways. Use the energy from your emotions in creative outlets. Perhaps you could write, journal, draw, paint, do crafts. Whatever you feel, express those feelings in some way or another. Maybe you could create cards. I know my mother loves to create cards and send them to people, and they're so greatly appreciated and accepted with love. So maybe that's a way that you can help other people. Create something and then send it to them. Have your children create cards for the nursing home. Again, I know a lot of that might not be allowed in, but you just can allow yourself to express your feelings and share. F, forgive yourself for putting stress and pressure on yourself. And realize that you are doing the best you can under the circumstances. So give yourself compassion and grace, whether you're a stay-at-home mom and you have your children there and you're trying to do all the things. Now you're a homeschool mom. Give yourself grace, give yourself compassion, okay? It's not easy. Everyone's in this together. And again, seek help, through therapy, and that'll give you an outlet with an adult if you're just with kids all day long. G, ground yourself. And this is an extremely important one because when we feel that everything is spiraling out of control, and especially our emotions, the best way is to ground ourselves. So you could walk outside barefoot, just feel the earth under your feet, or just sit down. And use this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. It's so good. You find 5 things that you can see, 4 things that you can feel, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you treasure in your life. And this allows you to use all of your senses. Try it right now. It's a great way to feel in the present moment. And I will have that in the show notes if you want to look that up. H, honor yourself where you are. Try to release yourself from your past and let go of those anxious thoughts regarding the future. And just breathe, which takes us to letter I. Inhale for 5 seconds. Hold for 3 and exhale for 7 seconds. Just make sure that you exhale longer than you inhale. And when you do that, you will feel the tension in your body just release. You will allow your nervous system to calm down, and then you're able to just relax in the present. J, journal your thoughts, your concerns, your worries, your feelings, and include everything that you're grateful for. K, keep in contact with loved ones. Pick up the phone, call them. Use technology, connect via video chat. Write letters, send cards. L, laugh as often as possible. Yes, this pandemic is very serious and we should all take it seriously. However, also allow yourself some time to take a break, enjoy your life and your family, and laugh as much as you can. Laughter is the best medicine and it's free. M, move your body. You can take a short walk outside. Yoga is a great practice during this time and includes some meditation for mindfulness. I've been practicing yoga online via internet with my daughter, Courtney Sprouls. She is a Hatha yoga instructor in Portland, Oregon, and she offers classes online. And you all are invited. And I'll have the information and the sign-up link in the show notes as well. And some super exciting news. Courtney, my daughter, will be my next guest on the podcast. And she will be sharing more about Hatha yoga and her experience with her training in Bali that she attended last year. And this episode is going to be extremely important, informative, and timely, as she will also be sharing how yoga can help tremendously during this time in our lives. So make sure to subscribe to get notified once it's released next Thursday, April 16th. And I hope that you all are staying safe and strong during this time. And wherever you're listening from, I just want to say Happy Easter. Thank you for listening to Life is a Treasure podcast. I'm Michelle Durant, and I'd like to personally invite you to join us and continue the conversation in our free Facebook group, Life is a Treasure podcast. The link will be in the show notes at lifeisatreasure.com. You can also find my social media links on the website as well. Please reach out to me and introduce yourself. I'd love to hear where you're listening from and what your biggest takeaways have been. And as we begin to share our secrets, our stories, and our struggles, we find that others can have the courage to start sharing theirs. And this is how the healing process begins. So please help us spread the hope and the healing to others by subscribing, reviewing, and sharing this podcast. And make sure to tag me on Instagram at Michelle Marie with 2 E's, Durand, Durand, with hashtag Life is a Treasure podcast for a chance to get a shout out on the show. And also visit lifeisatreasure.com for all the resources and freebies mentioned. We believe that everyone is equal and worthy of healing and unconditional love. And we promise that if you invest your time and energy to do the inner work, you too can transform yourself and create a life that is a treasure, so you can live authentically, love unconditionally, and laugh wholeheartedly. And until next week, peace, love, and joy.